Greetings, YouTube. Today's story comes out of Billings, Montana. A woman, 71 years old, saw a 4-year-old child, what she considered to be unattended. Feeling if the child was behaving in an inappropriate manner, she approached the child, yelled at the child, slapped the child on the face and the butt, and then was shocked when she was confronted by the child's foster mother about the incident. She was reported to police, and she was arrested for felony assault, as she should be. It probably didn't help that when she was approached by the police, her response was, I'm 71, I can do whatever the hell I want. That probably did to enamor her to the law enforcement. Now, I'm going to open up a big can of worms here. And it's a can of worms I've opened before. And it's a can of worms that's actually led to the only video on my channel ever having the comments shut off on. The video's still up. I just turned the comments off on it. And I haven't looked at it in years. I have no idea what the up vote and down vote ratio is. It's probably not good. If this strange woman slapping a 4-year-old is felony assault, and it is felony assault, why is it acceptable if a parent does it? Foster parent, adopted parent, biological parent, doesn't matter. Could be the biological grandchild. It could be a situation where a 71-year-old woman was slapping her biological grandchild. If it's against the law for a stranger to do it, and it is felony assault, why is it acceptable for a parent to do it, or a family member to do it? And I can't see in any way, shape, or form that it is acceptable. Now I can already hear the keys clacking when people are going to tell me that they were hit as children and that they turned out just fine. Here's the thing. If you were hit as a child, and you have my deepest sympathy if you were hit as a child, even once, and you've grown into an adult that thinks it's acceptable to hit a child, you didn't turn out right. You were scarred by that experience, and you now hold the warped worldview that it's acceptable for an adult to strike a child. Now, I understand the mental framework that someone has in that moment, that they want to modify the child's behavior, and they want to find what they consider to be the most expedient method. But there's a problem with the most expedient method, as is often the problem with the most expedient methods in almost all situations. It's the wrong choice. In a situation that calls for careful calculation and a measured position, people rush to action. And rushing to action is often the wrong thing. When it comes to child rearing, it is almost always the wrong thing. Because the lesson being imparted to that child is not, oh, I shouldn't do that thing. No, the lesson being imparted to that child is, when you get angry, hit someone. That's the lesson being imparted to the child. That when I get angry, I should hit someone. And as that message is reinforced over time, hitting someone when you're angry becomes the reflex, just like a parent becomes reflexive when it comes to hitting their own kid, or some strange 71-year-old in a parking lot reflexively struck a child, because she had been conditioned that when you get upset, hit someone. Now, I can also hear people saying, or about to ask me, do you have children? The answer, of course, is no, I don't have children. And then, of course, the next stage is, well, what gives you the right to say this? Then what gives me the right? I'm a human being. And when it involves my fellow human beings, I have every right in the world to hold any opinion I want. Not to mention, I was a child, and I remember. I have also taken the time and effort to research this on my own and speak to experts, people who make a living as therapists. And guess what? They all agree with me. Striking a child is the worst thing you can do to modify a behavior. It may be the most instinctive thing to do, but that doesn't make it right. It just makes it expedient. And in this case, also scarring. You're crippling that child. You're giving them a burden of anxiety and stress that they didn't have prior to that. And you, as the adult, are supposed to be smarter than that. You have just shown the world that a child, in this case a 4-year-old, has outsmarted you. Congratulations. It makes me question whether you should be in charge of a child at all. Children are not extensions of you. They are autonomous beings, and they deserve dignity and respect. And they should never, ever be hit. This woman was arrested for felony assault, and I still had never had anyone tell me why it shouldn't also be felony assault. But a parent does it.